This video is for the person who has big dreams, you have a big vision, and that is absolutely amazing, but it's your own unrealistic expectation, your own time constraint, your own desire to want things now, instantly, is what is sucking the life out of your dream. Let's face it, we live in a generation of instant like, instant fame, instant money, viral success overnight. We say overnight because watch any person, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in sport, whether it's in fitness, everyone who has been successful will tell you it is a process. We live in a microwave generation. There's so many of us have implemented this into our personal life, thinking that this is the way things go on a normal basis. If we don't make it by this date, this month, this year, then many of us are tempted to quit. And anyone who does get the instant without enjoying that process, without sowing the seeds so that their roots go down deep, ends up withering away overnight. Think about people who win the lottery. How many of them today are still rich compared to the person who worked for years and developed their business slowly but surely still has wealth today? So you've got a dream, you've got a vision, and that's great. From childhood we are encouraged to have a dream, to have a vision. Having a hope for your life is a gift that God has given to us, I believe, and it's very important to have something to look forward to. However, so often it's our own unrealistic expectations, our own desires to want to go from zero to hero that is actually hindering our progress, that is actually hindering us from enjoying the process. So I want you to think of your vision as your dream as a far off destination in the future. So often we are so fixated on getting to that we forget that any journey consists of thousands of little steps. If I try to sit here and teleport to China, I will not make it because that is impossible. And that is what so many of us try to do in our own journey, in sport and in fitness. We try to teleport ourselves somewhere, and it's that unrealistic expectation that actually holds us back. Slowly, catchy monkey. Trust me guys, I have been someone who has struggled with patience, who has struggled with enjoying the process, but I hope that this encourages you to realize that it's not one giant leap, it's actually small incremental steps. And so if you've been feeling a bit discouraged in your journey at the moment, if you've been feeling like your goal is just so far away but actually not taking the time to appreciate and recognize the growth that you have had so far, then I hope that this video encourages you to pause, take a moment and look over the things that you have achieved, the progress that you have had so far. So whether it's a case that yes, maybe you haven't achieved your fitness goal at this moment in time, maybe you haven't lost all the weight that you wanted to or be at the place that you wanted to in the time that you wanted to, but maybe you have actually grown in confidence, maybe you actually do feel better about your body, you do feel healthier, maybe you are getting better sleep. Have a look at what it is. Maybe in athletics you haven't yet achieved a personal best or run the time that you want to, but you recognize that your technique has improved, you now are much fitter than you were before, you recognize that you understand the sport a lot better. So take a moment to reflect and to continue to progress from that point. And this is why I always encourage you guys to keep a training diary, not only to just record what you're doing in training, but to record your personal testimonies, your personal successes, your small micro wins every week, every day, however often you want to, every month, because this will help you in the times when you are feeling a little bit discouraged, in the times when your own unrealistic expectations are actually hindering your progress. Then going back to look and see, actually this is what I've achieved so far, will hopefully help bring you out of that rut. And so if you haven't got a training diary guys, I encourage you to check out mine. I've got 2 athlete training diaries, and I've also got a workout logbook if it's for your fitness journey. I've got a hardback version and I've got a paperback version, so check those out, because like I said, it's really important to keep a record because you can't manage or measure what you don't monitor. And so making sure that you continuously get into a habit of writing these things down will help you with all the things that I'm speaking about in this video. So I want you to answer this question: what's the next skill that you need to master? What's the next step in your journey? What's the next landmark that you can aim for in the big picture of what you're trying to achieve? It's good to have people that you look up to, people that you aspire to be like, but so often they're so far ahead of you that trying to mimic and do exactly what they do actually will slow you down. They didn't do what they are doing now at the point where you are now, if that makes sense. So when they were in your position, they weren't necessarily able to do the thing that they are doing now. So let's say, for example, your favorite athlete, your favorite sprinter or whatever, they have this whole team around them. They're able to train full time. They have trackside assistant. They have all these things. They even have the money that you don't actually have. Or let's say you're trying to achieve, let's say, the strength that somebody else has. Well, guess what? They didn't do what they do now when they were starting. And so you see it's a progress. And so as much as you have, you know, those people that you admire to as a long-term picture, the long-term goal. If you can find people that are just a little bit ahead of you, that gives you a better picture of what you can do where you are now, if that makes sense. That gives you a better picture, a more realistic expectation, a more realistic encouragement in your particular season. Let's just talk about SMART goals quickly, guys. So in SMART, you've got specific, measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant. I'm going to use realistic today, and time bound. And I want to focus on the R and the T, because so often those are the areas that trip a lot of people up. So firstly, do you actually have SMART goals? You have a dream, you have a vision, but do you have SMART goals? And remember, your goals are not one and done. They're actually progressive. So once you achieve that in the time period that you've set and stuff like that, then you reassess them and then you go again. And so is your goal for the time frame that you're aiming for, is it realistic? And that's what I'm encouraging you to refocus and think about today. If you're trying to jump from A to Z in 12 months, but actually for you individually, because everyone is different and there's no right or wrong when it comes to time. Usually so often in our mind that we think that it's right or wrong because we have a desire for something to happen in a certain time frame, but so often it doesn't happen in the time frame that we want. Let's say you have a goal to make an Olympic. Yes, you may have wanted to achieve that goal in 2 years or 3 years, but if I told you that you will achieve it at year 10, would that not encourage you to keep going, to keep pushing forward? And so yes, we may not know the date in which you will achieve, but the point is that as long as you are making progress, that is a reason to continue with your journey. And so look at your goals. Are they realistic for the time that you set? And if they are realistic but that you don't achieve it, that's not the end of the world, guys. That doesn't mean that you should give up. It just means, okay, it's time to reassess and go again. Reverse engineer it and think, okay, cool, I didn't achieve the goal that I wanted to achieve perhaps this year. Then how could you maybe make other smaller steps to get to that, so that you can actually still achieve it, but perhaps in a longer time period than you initially wanted to. So if you like the video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up to help me accelerate my channel, to let the algorithm know so that more people can see this video and be encouraged in their journey. And if you haven't yet checked out my video about how to stay motivated with your training, then make sure to check it out here, and I'll see you guys next Friday.